So, what a day today has been. I think the number of natural catastrophes are ticking up somehow. That there's actually more natural catastrophes, more disasters happening in the earth right now than there were before. And, yeah, I'll have to do some research on that. I'm tired. I don't get tired very often, but I am. I'm mentally, though not physically. I don't get physically exhausted at all anymore. I could probably get up right now and go fight another hurricane or tidal wave or whatever. But I did so much today. I'm frazzled. I need a break. I'm just a man, after all. Sure, I can lift ocean liners and toss around skyscrapers, but I'm just a man. You know what I really need right now? I need a night, at the bar, hanging out with Jimmy. Never thought I'd say that I just needed a night relaxing, telling bad jokes, listening to bad music. Well, it's not that bad. Knocking back a couple of beers with my buddy, my pal. I lost my parents in a car accident back in high school. And after that, I took off to find myself in the world. Find myself is the wrong expression. People use that all the time. I hate that. You are who you choose to be. You are. I am who I choose to be. We all make decisions. And those decisions define us, not some silly inner quest to find ourselves. I set out to be myself, to make my mark on the world. Fighting natural disasters, I went to school for a while, but I isolated myself. I didn't have any family left. Only had a handful of friends from high school, and I just kind of took off and left. Didn't keep in touch with much anybody, which is why I came back. Anyway, you know that story. I've told that story. After running around the world for too long, I came back and, started hanging out with my friend Chloe. She worked at the paper. I got a job at the paper, and as a science editor, and working as a partner slash advisor to Lois. And yeah, Lois. How can she hate Clark that much and love me? I mean, I'm the same person, right? I mean, yeah, when I'm Clark, I put my hair forward, I put on my glasses, and I talk like this. Hi, I'm Clark Kent. But, there's no difference. I'm the same guy, I just don't fly when I'm Clark. Same values, same person, slightly different voice. I changed the way I walk too. The Heinlein pointed that out when I was reading one of his books, is that people identify you by your gait more than your appearance. Like when they see someone walking from a distance, they know who it is by the way they walk. So I worked very... I'm getting off topic. I need a night off. I need a night with Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't know. My hair's not forward enough. There we go. So Jimmy doesn't know that I'm super. But we get along great. We're two oddballs that just kind of fit. And I'll tell you why. Jimmy isn't what you expect from your average photojournalist. And that's how he would classify himself, as a photojournalist, Jimmy. But he didn't start off that way. He started off in Hobbs Bay. Was it Hobbs Bay? What do we call it? Anyway, he started off in the poor side of town in the city.
and son of a single mom, growing up, no money. He worked very hard to delivering papers from this paper, cutting grass, doing handyman repairs, and then he saw an ad for a magazine. When he was about 13 years old, they would pay $5,000 a picture for good pictures, stock pictures of celebrities. So Jimmy had to borrow a camera. He didn't have his own camera. He had to borrow a camera and a cell phone camera. And this is a while back, so it wasn't a quality cell phone either. So he's 13 years old, and he becomes a paparazzi at 13. He sells 20 photos in the course of, a year. He'll tell you. Ask him, he'll tell you. So he sells all these photos at $5,000 a pop, and he pays off. He's starting to pay off their house. Were they living? Oh, I remember. They were in an apartment. They ended up getting to move to a city because he was supplementing out to the one of the nicer neighborhoods in the city, where they bought a house because he was supplementing the income. At 13, 14 years old, he's making almost as much as his mom was. So he buys a new camera. He becomes a professional paparazzi at 13, 14 years old, and he didn't really leave the city much. But hey, there's lots of celebrities coming to the city, so then he started traveling around the world, getting the big shots, the big pictures, and now he's making $25,000, $30,000 a picture. And so by the time he was in his late teens, early 20s, he graduated from high school and everything, and he gave it all up. He was a millionaire. And he gave it all up. He was done. He said, I had enough of this. And he said, I had enough money. This is the way he puts it. I had enough money that I could live comfortably for more than a few years. He never went out and bought a mansion or anything. He bought a reasonable house for his mom. He bought himself a nice house nearby. All that stuff. And he bought a decent car, something reliable, not too flashy. Okay, it's a little... He eventually upgraded to the Trans Am he's got now, or is it a Camaro? I don't know, I don't drive. But I can fly anywhere I want to go. So that's who Jimmy is. I forgot the most important part. He gave it all up when he was about 20 to do something with his camera that was worthwhile. Started taking college classes and photo on journalism and photography. And now he tries to use his camera. He's a freelancer at the paper. He's a freelancer. And he's living off his savings mostly. And because freelancing doesn't pay a lot of money. The paper doesn't pay a lot of money. And he goes around and he takes pictures. And he's trying to change the world through as a photojournalist. He's trying to make an impact. And I think he's doing a pretty good job. So he's kind of this guy with all this experience, and he doesn't look at the world the same way almost anyone else in the paper does. And then there's me. And I don't fit in for all sorts of reasons. But me and Jimmy, we made ourselves. I mean, he put in a lot more work than I did. I know I'm modest, and I tend to downplay what I do. And I save lives. I fly around the world and I save lives. But everything I've done in life has come pretty easy to me. And I've never put myself in a life or death situation. Yes, I have. That's not true. I didn't know how invulnerable I was when I started out. When I first started out, there were a number of times I didn't know if I was going to survive something when I threw myself into it. I guess I have. I guess I was shortchanging I tend to shortchange myself. I'm not... It's deliberate. Because I know, with my power, if I let it go to my head, I'll become someone I despise. Someone I fight. Nowadays, you can call me a superhero if you want to. And that's the kind of person I fight. It's the kind of person that you don't want to be for all sorts of philosophical reasons, and with the logic behind that, I think I've gone over in one of these. I know I've gone over in a few of these videos. I don't want to be that guy. So I do try to be modest, be humble, and look for the brilliance, the wonderfulness in other people, because it's there. Um, Bibbo, that's the guy whose bar we go to, is Bibbo's bar, the Ace of Clubs. And he is something else. He's a sailor who won the lotto. Not a ton of lotto money or anything, but enough to buy his own bar, and he runs his own bar, and I like Bibbo. And sometimes he just sees right through and he hits the nail on the head, you know. Anyway, Jimmy's my buddy. We go to the bar, we tell stories. He's the only one that I told that I used to be engaged to a mermaid, of all things. You know, you're living a crazy life when you used to be engaged to a mermaid. A telepathic mermaid. That did not end well. Anyway, I don't like talking about that. I didn't tell him I was engaged to a mermaid either. He wouldn't believe me. So, yeah. I guess that's it. I like Jimmy. Jimmy and I hang out. He's the one person I can just relax with, and I don't have to worry about anything. Like with Chloe, I'm attracted to her, so I'm trying to... That was so hard for me to admit to say out loud that I have a crush on Chloe. It's not really a crush, that's like high school talking. I'd like to see something happen there. And then the other person I spend a lot of my time with is Lois. Ugh. She really, really seems to hate me. She doesn't give me any slack. She doesn't cut me any breaks. I help her out all the time, and she just gives me more crap. I wouldn't even go back and help her again, except everything we do makes the world a better place. She is... When I put on the pajamas, I don't like... What I like to fight is disasters. I like to help people. I only have so much time. I can only be in one place at a time. I think I've explained this better. That my philosophy is that I'm here to help people with things they cannot help themselves with. That's what I'm trying to do. Natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, things like that. And I'm here to... I created the whole iconic... Chloe and I created the whole iconic costume because I want to inspire people to do more. That's what I want to do, is to inspire people to do more. And as far as battling man's inhumanity to man, man's cruelty to man, I will stop crimes in progress. And I hope to inspire people to change, but there's a line. There's a thin line between fighting crime and, when you've got as much power as I do, between fighting crime and ruling humanity. At what point do I start being judge, jury, and executioner? When do I become a tyrant? When do I take over? Where do I stop so I'm not becoming a tyrant? That's why I set up that idea of stopping crimes in progress. Let mankind deal with mankind's self-created problems. I don't want to rule the world. I don't want to rule anybody. But I do want to make the world a better place. And I want to inspire people to make the world, to do more, to make the world a better place themselves, to do what's right. And not just because it's the right thing to... I hate that phrase. It simplifies things. I did the right thing because it was the right thing to do. I like to be more specific. I saved his life because his life needs saving, and I can do that. I can do that. Clark can do that. I can go out there and save people from fires. I can save people from earthquakes. I can stop bullets. I'm making the world a better place. I'm not doing it just because it's the right thing to do, but because, you know what? I don't even mind that phrase that much anymore. It's really that people don't know, people don't like that, the right thing to do explanation. It doesn't come across as a good answer, especially not in our current culture in America. But, you know, I fight for truth. I fight for freedom, for liberty, justice. If you do the wrong thing, you should be punished. Truth, freedom, justice. Basically, it's the American way. I'm feeling a little better now. I think I'm going to take a nap. Thanks for listening, camera, who I will never ever show to another person.